If I had to pick one teacher, I couldn't, but I have two teachers who stand out in my mind as having really influenced me tremendously. And there are two teachers from Eastside High School. One was my freshman English teacher, Mr. Weiss, and the other was my sophomore English teacher, Miss Durbin, and then I had them repeatedly throughout high school. They were both very encouraging to me, although I was very shy, almost inarticulate. They both helped me enormously. Mr. Weiss always encouraged me to think of myself as a wonderful writer, and Miss Durbin, who was also Allen Ginsberg's teacher, allowed me to read poems out loud in class. Although I was in alpha classes with lots of upper middle class kids, every day she would choose me to read poems because she knew by the way I read them how much I loved the language, how much I loved the way the poems sounded. It gave me huge amounts of courage that I didn't have before I walked into her classroom. I have to say that many years later, when I'd read in New York, I'd see Mr. Weiss in the audience. In fact, he would get there before me. He lived in New York City, and even in a hurricane, he'd show up at one of my readings, and he'd sit in the front, still encouraging me the way he did when I was 14. So that was what I think a good teacher is. A teacher who opens doors for people, who makes space for them, gives them a safe place to be, and sees what is best in them, even when they don't see what is best in themselves.